Something a little bit different here on the E3 show floor, I guess. It's not something I've seen before at the very least. MX4D is like a cinema, well, traditionally a cinema sort of experience, bringing an extra dimension to the movies that you were seeing. But you guys are doing something a little bit different this year. Can you go into what market you're kind of moving towards?
What we're doing is typically we've been in the cinema industry for about 5 years now, and what our seats do, the MX4D technology, what the seats do is actually move with the motion on the screen.
Right.
We were thinking, where else can we find that actually where this would actually be a great implementation? And we thought esports is blowing up. Why not integrate our seats into the experience, and then game watchers or immersive spectating through the seats? And so now you're part of the game. You're feeling the people that are playing the game. You're watching, you're feeling, you're smelling, you're experiencing it. So we thought E3 would be the best place to introduce the world's first MX4D theater, which is going to launch in October at the TCL Chinese Theater. So that actually will be the first place that you can see an MX4D theater. We have a whole wide world network of over 200 theaters around the world. Unfortunately, there's only 3 of them in the United States, but the technology has blown up all over the planet. So we're going to start off with these 200 theaters that we already have, implement this esports network, and then we'll get everybody into the theaters where Hollywood Esports, who we're partnering with, after we install the theater, they will come in and help the cinema owners produce it, get the different activities going, do the marketing. So it's kind of a whole turnkey solution that you build the theater, which is totally modular. So by day you could be a movie theater, by night you pop up all of the Gamecaster stations, all the player stations. The seats will always be there, but you have the option, movie by day, esports by night.
That's really interesting, and like it gives a lot of flexibility as well, multi-purpose venues. So that's pretty cool. So far, what esports titles have you sort of approached anyone around getting involved with them directly? I mean, we just saw some Vainglory a couple of minutes ago while I was jostled around in the middle of a heavy fight. So are there any other titles that you're currently looking at to get involved with?
What we're going to do right now is based on where in the world our spheres are, we'll determine what kind of games we'll be playing. What's popular in the United States might not be popular over in the UK. It might not be, so we're really going to take a look at what is going to draw people in to come to these theaters, and that will be dependent on what games that we play. So we'll organize that based on what the market wants.
That makes a lot of sense. So are you looking at perhaps the next stage from here? Presumably would be going to like these big esports arenas that are starting to pop up and putting the same sort of product in there, so whilst you're watching it live and in person, you can really get the same experience. Is that an avenue that you're considering in the future?
Not right now, because what we want to do is we want to set up a place where micro tournaments, kind of like in the 80s there were arcades.
Okay.
In the early 2000s you went to the internet cafe. Now in 2017, esports, we want to get people to have a place that they can go either to play, watch a tournament, or just watch televised and streaming gaming content. So it's kind of going to be somewhere small you can go, and then we're going to see how that works, and then of course expand after that. But right now that's really what we're kind of trying to do, trying to make somewhere where people can go meet, get out of the house from behind the computer and meet again, because actually theater, not a lot of people are going to the theater as much as that they used to. So now cinema owners have to find another way of generating revenue, and because we're in the the cinema industry anyway,
right,
it'll make only sense, how can we make money for the cinema owners? And this is what we came up with.
Yes, it's an interesting way of looking at it as well, because it kind of just adds to the existing service and completely flips it onto something else. It's really clever. And one of the things that has been commented on by some other people we know that run arcades in the UK is arcade culture's kind of disappeared and it's kind of dropped off. Everyone just stays at home and does multiplayer lobbies in the home. So anything that kind of aids bringing back that kind of communal aspect, and so far from what you've seen on the show floor, have you noticed people really starting to interact around the games by enjoying it in person?
Yeah, What's the most fun, other than watching what's happening on the screen, is I stand and I look at what are the reactions in the chair, and they're just, it's like Christmas, you know. Wow, you know, because it's the first time you actually are part of the game. You know, someone gets blown up, it's in your seat. A car goes really fast, you feel the wind in your face. So it's so different that I just love watching the people's faces like, wow, this is like a whole fun experience. And that's what 4D is about, the experience. Yeah. Not just watching, getting exciting for your team, but now you have a place with these theaters. It's like, call your mates, get them on down to the theater. Let's do something together. Again, getting out from behind the computer, meeting other people that are also esports enthusiasts, and bring them to the theater so they can enjoy an immersive experience. Experiential is what I think is the most important thing. It's totally an experiential, immersive experience that you walk away and think, that was fun. Yeah. And you do it again. And you know, we don't really get together anymore like we used to, because everything we could do is at home. So it's bringing people together again and making new friends, other than just being on, you know, a headset. Yeah. So we're hoping that that's what's going to be, and the looks are priceless on their face. I just really enjoy. Just sit there and watch.
I have a feeling there's going to be a photo album somewhere online fairly shortly of just people's.
I will share. I will share with you. Absolutely, it's great. I'm glad everybody is just having a really fun time and walking away going, wow, what a cool experience. Yeah. So
that makes it all worthwhile, right?
It does.
So if we were to look at where we are at home to go and have an experience like this, even at the cinema level at the moment, is there anywhere that has a listing of all of the places that currently have MX4D installed?
Yeah, you can visit our website at mx-4d.com, and we do have a list of theaters that currently around the world that we service, and at least try the seats out, what it's like to watch a movie in 4D. It's incredible. I saw Star Wars, and it's just fantastic. It really is. I mean, you get smell, you get strobe. Some theaters have snow. You know, if a theater wanted to have, you know, I know playing any Blizzard games, snow's totally apropos. Right. You're sitting there and snow's coming down. You're having wind gusts. You're having smell. We actually have a scent in our seats, which a lot of the scents come out of the armrest, of alien breath.
And the research for that came from?
You know what, we just figured, you know, just a sense of bug guts. Not enough to disgust, but just enough to walk away and go, yeah, I can see why that would smell like that. So that's how we came up with alien breath.
That's a story to tell all of your friends, I think. You know, just alien breath. If you want some alien breath, you know where to go to find a theatre that will supply you perhaps with some alien breath. And you know, having just had a go, whilst as I say, they were playing some Vainglory over there, I was kind of pessimistic, but it's actually really fun to just kind of have the reactions around what's happening on the screen and what's going on in game, and it actually matching up with, because what I was expecting was it was just kind of going to be a generic program of just this, that and the other happening, but it was, you know, based on the actual individual actions that were occurring. You know, if there was a flying character in there, you was getting the gusts of wind from the wings and stuff like that. So really cool experience, and if you do find that you've got a MX4D theatre anywhere near you, I definitely recommend giving it a try, and you'll have fun with it. I'm almost guaranteeing it.